I don't know why there needs to be a pause. Let the negotiations begin. What is there, like 60 countries that have said, hey, we want to come to the table and negotiate here. Let's make that happen.
Thank you once again for joining us for NewsNation Live. I'm Marni Hughes in Chicago. Let the negotiations begin. That's the word from some Republicans in Congress as the world and the markets react to President Trump's tariffs. The White House says they are fielding requests to negotiate on the tariffs from dozens of countries. The president also saying China wants to make a deal badly. Right now, U.S. markets are in the green. They have been volatile, though, these last several days as the tariffs have taken effect. Meanwhile, right now on Capitol Hill, the nation's top trade negotiator is in the hot seat testifying to lawmakers about U.S. trade policy and the economic impact of these moves. NewsNation's Kellie Meyer joining us from the nation's capital with the very latest. Kellie, good morning once again. What has been revealed or shared specifically in this meeting so far?
Yeah, I was actually just listening in before I headed up here. It's really interesting. A lot of back and forth between Democrats and some Republicans asking questions about the plan for these tariffs, when a deal is going to be made with some of these countries, how long these tariffs will be in place. Democrats really criticizing the president's actions. So a lot of back and forth with the U.S. Trade Representative. He is in the hot seat right now, testifying on President Trump's tariffs. He's fielding questions, as we said, from Democrats, Republicans, but ultimately defending the president's plan to implement tariffs. That's set to take effect tomorrow. Jamieson Greer is his name. He's saying, quote, the nature of the emergency is not something we can wait on anymore. He says that they have about 50 countries that have come already to the negotiating table. Take a listen.
I don't want to prejudge the negotiations, but if they're able to provide an alternative plan that can further these objectives, I think we're open to that.
You said the president's strategy is already bearing fruit. Well, I can tell you for a lot of Oregonians who have 401ks that are being drained out, that's pretty rotten stuff. And you ought to realize how serious this is for the country.
So some Democrats say it makes no sense to do this all at the same time or to tariff allies the same way as someone, for example, like China. Some Republicans saying they want to get a sense of the timeline that a deal could be reached with some of these countries. They're saying that they may have folks who have businesses overseas, and before they start negotiating with their clients, if there is going to be a deal reached, they say they would like to know so they can really kind of bet on that. Marni?
Yeah, how to prepare. Kellie, meantime, what is China's response to the president's latest tariff threats?
Yeah, we don't have a resolution here just yet, but President Trump is sounding positive about reaching a deal with China on tariffs. And this comes as the two countries are going back and forth with tariff threats right now. President Trump saying on Truth Social not too long ago that China, quote, wants to make a deal badly, he says, but they don't know how to get it started. He says, quote, we are waiting for their call. It will happen. So while China isn't coming to the negotiating table just yet, several countries are saying the president had a great call with, are coming to the table. He had a great call with the president, the acting president of South Korea about tariffs. Israel's prime minister, you see there, trying to strike a deal with Washington, offering to eliminate the trade deficit and trade barriers with the U.S., but not all in the administration are in line with the president. Elon Musk also sparring again on social media with one of the president's lead advisors on trade, Peter Navarro, calling him a, quote, moron just this morning. So Elon Musk, he's the billionaire businessman and owner of Tesla. He's long opposed tariffs, even from Trump's first term. He's reportedly making direct appeals to President Trump to reverse his decision, something the president has said he wouldn't do. Marni.
Interesting. All right, Kellie, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.